This is the ladies' no bullshit guide to squatting. I've seen loads of videos over Instagram and TikTok showing people how to squat, and there's common themes within all of them, but no one seems to break it down simply. Here's a step-by-step guide to master your squatting, make you feel more comfortable, get stronger, and just feel better at the skill in general. The first thing we need to sort out is hand positioning, okay? With your hand position, we need to make sure, so we have the smooth part of the barbell here and the rough part here. What you need to do is basically place your thumb from the smooth part where the rough part meet. Place your thumbs both there, measure about a thumb's width away, grab hold of the bar, and you've got your hands equal. The biggest issue with anyone unracking a bar is having unequal hands, because then it'll be wonky. And it'll look something like this if it's wonky, and it'll feel like this. If you do it with my strategy, it'll look something like this. The next part is really simple. We want to address the walkout. So we're gonna get both feet underneath the bar, like so. We're not gonna do a split one like this, because when it gets heavy and you do this, it's gonna fold your back up like this. So we're gonna bring both feet under the bar, standing underneath it, and we're gonna stand the bar up nice and tall. From here, we need to take 2 steps back. 1, 2, and we're in our position, okay? On that second step, okay, you can then use a third just to readjust your width, which we'll talk about in a second. We don't need to be doing this, but we stand up, we walk miles away from the rack, because these safety bars are actually there to support you. So again, one more time. We stand her up, we step back, and we're down. The feet are really simple. Just because you can squat narrow doesn't mean you should. Typically, we want our feet shoulder width apart. Also, we don't really want them to be directly forward. Most people will be better off having their feet roughly facing 11 and 1 on the clock face, so a slight turn out of the toes. The reason the feet are so important is that if most people, if they're narrow and their feet are facing forward, they will get kind of stuck halfway down. Like I've got my hips getting jammed by my thigh bones here. Now watch me just move my feet ever so slightly, about shoulder width apart, slightly turned out, all the way down. The deeper you can go under more control, the stronger you'll get, and the more joint and injury resilient you'll be, like so. When squatting with the bar, allow the knees to track with the toes. So with the knees, if you do squat your feet facing forward, allow the knees to track forward, okay? If your toes are slightly turned out, allow the knees to track outwards slightly. Again, you're trying to create space for your hips to fall into. If you're narrow and you're here, your hips have no space. So again, turn the feet out slightly, and down we go, here. With regards to the eyes, the main thing is, don't be staring at the floor in front of you. Try and look slightly ahead and notice my chest pop up slightly. It doesn't need to be up here though. I always encourage everyone to squat with this tempo when they first start as well. Anywhere between 8 and 12 reps, 3 seconds on the way down. 1, 2, 3. Hold for a solid second. Back up with intent. 1, 2, 3. Hold. Back up with intent. The reason being is you build way more control. It's easier to control as well, and you don't just bomb into the bottom position. From the side as well, you'll see one of the most common faults that when people squat is they lean with their butt or they lean with their knees. So they just stick their butt back, and because of this, they cannot bend their knees anymore. They're leaning too far back. If they tried to squat any lower, they'd fall over. Vice versa. If they don't stick their butt back at all, you get to here and your ankles can't move anymore. So it's bending the knees and the hips at the exact same time, like this. Like this. So the butt goes back as the knees go forward, together. Down, back up. Want to make it even easier to lift heavier loads, build strength and build thighs and glutes? Buy a pair of heel lifts or wear weightlifting shoes. This makes it easier to get depth, but also keep your spine in a more upright position, which makes your back hurt less. So you go from this sort of position to this. You can see my back is way more upright. This is far more comfortable, and I'll build a stronger set of legs through a greater range of motion. Unboxing some common faults. If it hurts when your arms are too close together, start as narrow as possible without pain. If this caused you pain where the smooth and the rough part met, start about 2 fingers width away from there. Nice and simple. Start my thumb there, and off we go. I'll be slightly wider. My shoulders won't be as tight, but then that'll be another position to try from. Again, you can go wider if you need to. Just be wary that you don't get too close to the hooks so you catch your finger. If you find that your knees cave in as you squat, especially on the way up, like so, this is actually quite common. As long as they're not going past this kind of straight line here, we're okay. If they're coming together, we've got a bit more of a problem. But rather than putting this band round the knees like everyone does like this and says drive out, okay, I actually coach people to do it around the mid-shin to the ankle, like so. So again, with or without the barbell, all you do, drive the pressure out through the knees, make sure your feet are planting the grip to the floor, squatting down, holding that shape, back up. Again, can be performed with the barbell, like so. I find this way more effective than the band around the knees. If you perform what I call stripper squats, which look a bit like this, where your butt comes up first, like this, and it looks like an RDL or your bum going in the air, I coach this. As you stand up, when your butt kicks out, thrust it forward towards the wall in front of you. So as you go down, you'll shoot up potentially, bring the hips in, thrust towards the wall. Obviously, don't overarch your back here and cause extra pain that way. The other way of thinking about it, I cue putting your head and shoulders this triangle through the ceiling. So again, underneath. If I'm squatting down and I shoot into a stripper, that means it's going forward towards the wall in front of me. I want to drive it up towards the ceiling, like so. Here, drive it towards the ceiling. If you have a spotter behind you, I always say think about trying to throw the barbell off your back towards me, because it gets your posture up from this position to this position. That was a relatively simple breakdown of squats. If you have any questions, any answers, whether it's goblet squats, front squats, back squats, or just anything I covered in this video, drop me a comment below and I'll get back to you.